Hey guys, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Vic and I'm a graduating senior at Yale University. It makes me really sad to say that, but at least it gives me the right to make this video, which is some of the biggest regrets that I've had at college. I hope if you're still in college or you're about to be a college student, this video inspires you not to make the same mistakes that I did. My first regret is not networking more at higher level events. College is the best place for you to be interacting and rubbing shoulders with people who are experts in the field of work that you're interested in going into in the future. At any school, really, but especially at a place like Yale. For example, the School of Forestry always had these conferences that invited all these famous people, and I only really started attending in my third year, which is the last year that I was at Yale because of the whole situation going on before I had to come back to Singapore. And when I went, I didn't really go out of my way to speak to people and just introduce myself and get to know others. In case you didn't know this, networking is so important for your future career. Some research done by LinkedIn found that 75% of the participants in their study found their job through personal connections. And the thing is, I already knew this before going into college, but I still didn't do it. I think I was probably intimidated because I was thinking, what can I offer these famous people if I was a lowly college student and not even a graduate student at that, with no working experience? I think I should have instead just saw it as an opportunity to get to know people, thank them for their work, and just make connections instead of having so much pressure put on myself to network. Fundamentally, networking is really just that, right? Building relationships, and starts from simply just starting a conversation. And I think if I put in more effort to do that more conscientiously, I probably could have had some professional opportunities coming up for me in the time that I was there. Well, I guess I will never know now, but if you're still in college or honestly at any stage of your career or schooling life, networking is still a great thing to do. Regret number two is similar, which is not going for office hours more. A lot of the times I didn't go because I didn't need help for the classes that I was taking, but I should have gone just to get to know my professors and form a relationship that could have lasted even after my class ended. Having good relationships with your professors is so important because usually they have many opportunities. For example, they might need research assistance at various points throughout the year. And even if you're not interested in research, they usually have a lot of connections with other faculty members or practitioners in the field. If you form a relationship with them, they may have your best interests at heart and point you towards opportunities, or may otherwise just serve as a reference for your future job or just a source of career advice. So if you're still in college, please go for office hours. Number three is not starting to invest sooner. I'm not going to go in depth into why investing is important for you, but the summary is basically that investing helps you beat the inflation rate and also make your money work for you. Because of how compound interest works, the longer you stay invested, the more your money will grow. So obviously, the younger you start, the better it is. I'll insert a graph right now to show you the power of compound interest. As you can see, when multiple people start investing at different ages but put in the same amount of money, the final amount of money that they have at the end is very, very different. If I had started investing in college, I think those few extra years of having my money grow for me would probably have added up to a lot in the long run. My next regret is writing people off too early. If you've watched any of my previous videos where I talked about my Yale experiences, especially this video I'm going to link up here on my disappointing first year at Yale, you would know that I didn't really make very close friends within my college, and a lot of my closest friends are my Singaporean friends because I'm Singaporean, in case you didn't know. I do have to take some responsibility for that though. I might have judged people really early without getting a chance to know them personally. In the first couple of weeks of school, people seemed to try quite hard to fit in. A lot of people into partying, and I just personally found it quite off-putting to try and connect with people whose humor I didn't resonate with and whose ways of having fun I didn't resonate with either. And so I just really stuck to myself and did my own thing. As someone who makes deeper connections and seeks genuine friendships. I thought that I didn't want to fit myself into a mold of who I thought other people wanted to be friends with. But I think what I could have done better is get to know individuals personally instead of judging everyone to be kind of like same type of person. And I'm sure if I try a little harder, especially when it comes to my classes, I could have found people that I really clicked with. And this leads me to my next regret, which is not being friendly first and consistently. Now, usually people are quite friendly to you, but they're not willing to take the first move. And that's why you need to have initiative to step up, introduce yourself, invite them for a meal, etc., etc. I think it does take quite a bit of courage and effort to reach out first. And on top of that, you need to continuously follow up the person because it takes more than one interaction to build a relationship. Obviously, only follow up if the person is interested and willing. I think the times I did this at Yale, it definitely paid off for me. For example, the group of friends that I'm closest to now, the group that I've traveled a lot with and that I had meals every single week with, only really came together because one day I decided to get them all together for dinner, and after that we just started a group chat and we never stopped talking to each other. So just having one person take initiative can take something that is like a potential friendship to the next level. If I had been friendly first and more consistently I feel like that might have improved my social life at Yale. And I do want to say that I have no regrets about how my social life turned out at Yale. I really enjoyed my time there and I wouldn't have changed anything because I think being alone a lot also was so invaluable for my growth. But there's always room for things to improve, and this is just what I would have told past me to do more often because, having more friends never hurts. Regret number 6 is I wish I said yes to more new and novel experiences, even the things that I had an inkling that I wouldn't enjoy. For example, at Yale, there's this one club slash pub that no one really likes. It's called Toads, and every Wednesday and Saturday people from Yale usually go. It's a tradition called Wodes and Sods. I never went because I'm not into alcohol or clubbing, but the thing is I've never tried it, so how am I supposed to know that? I wish I just did it while I was there simply for the experience. And sometimes I had friends who were going and invited me and I turned them down. I think I should have gone just to make a memory that I could really only have made whilst I was at that college. There were also events like skiing that my college arranged and I didn't go for because I always told myself I didn't have time because it was usually a whole day event, or I didn't want to go because I didn't have friends going. But I should have just gone. Even if I was alone, I would still have had a lovely experience doing something new. I also wish I explored more of campus, which is what I only started doing towards the tail end of my time at Yale before I had to come back to Singapore. That being said, even though I did make some of these slip-ups, I think there are many things that I did right. And so if you're still in college or about to be a college student, here are 7 quick-fire college tips for you guys. First, use the flexibility of college classes to your advantage. If you only want to have 4 or even 3 days of classes, you can arrange that. If you want to force yourself to get out of bed earlier in the mornings, you can front load all your classes to earlier in the day. Tailor your schedule to suit your needs or your goals. Secondly, every semester is going to have a different schedule exactly because of the flexibility of college class scheduling. And because of that, what you want to do is make sure that you find a routine as quickly as possible so that you are grounded when you start your new semester. Figure out, okay, what are the best times I'm going to meet my friends, go to the gym, etc., etc. This connects to tip number 3, which is to figure out what activities keep you sane and healthy and always return to them when things start feeling really stressful in college. There's always going to be that period in the college semester where there feels like there's so much work and you're so overwhelmed. And in those moments, you need to understand how to center yourself so that you don't go crazy. For me, those things have always been exercise, yoga, meditation, just making a nice cup of tea, putting on a face mask, and spending time on and by myself. Figure out what those self-care and keep myself sane activities are for you and return to them when things feel like they're getting out of whack. These are foundations of a healthy life that you should be building from your very first semester in school. The next tip is to enjoy your freedom away from home, but at the same time stay connected to family. I think a lot of people tend to swing either to being too homesick or going too wild and forgetting to pay respects to your parents who have gotten you where you are right now. So remember to enjoy every moment of independence that you have, allow yourself to grow while you're in college, but at the same time call home often and tell them that you miss them because they probably miss you a lot. The next tip is to be your own person. College is the best place for you to find yourself, for you to be alone, to understand what you want and your needs and what your motivations are, etc., etc. Don't be afraid, and in fact, you should spend quite a lot of time alone to figure those things out, and don't stay glued to your new group of friends or your partner. Do things alone more often and have fun while you're doing it. And I'll share a video over here talking about why it's so important to learn how to love being alone and how I did it when I was in college. Finally, savor every moment. Embrace the highs and the lows, the rain and the shine. This is an experience that is going to pass in a blink of an eye, and you're not even going to realize how quickly things have happened and changed. Take advantage of every opportunity and just see every moment as a way to grow and sometimes suffer, but learn from the process. And with that, I have wrapped up my college experience and I've shared my biggest nuggets of wisdom over my past 4 years with you guys. I hope this was helpful, and for those of you who still have your college years ahead of you, I'm wishing you all the best. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys real soon.